That's what I like about it.
I thought about wearing my shirt, but my hair always covered with logo. So
I know.
Exotic potatoes. I'm gonna start in a minute. I'm just trying to get my salad right.
Yeah.
Huh?
I love this dressing.
I don't know what kind of dressing this is.
It tastes like ginger, balsamic and ginger. You know how you go to get the salad at the Asian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I'm just getting my salad ready before we start. But, I mean, they watching anyway. They starting to watch anyway. Yeah, you got an EQ, bro. Little EQ around here. Y'all see that? She got an EQ.
Mm-hmm. I usually eat like
you got
business. I can't do that on video. we in the north, but I can't do that on video.
We're in the north. We're in the south. Salad, girl. That's how we eat over here. That's how we do it.
I never cut my salad. I said, Rhonda cut my salad. Let me see.
So she said Rhonda cut her salad.
This is the third time I've seen her cut it.
My husband tell me I take too long fixing my food after it get to the table.
That's because you gotta cut it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta make sure it's cut nice enough. I gotta make sure mine's cut. Right, because it don't taste good. You gotta mix it all in so you can get all the flavors up in one. Sometimes you don't get all the flavors if you mix it up. But then you gotta chop from different parts of the plate. So, good evening. I see everybody's logging in right now. My name is Towanna, because y'all know me, Towanna Murphy, and you are watching and listening to Politics, Food, and Fun with Towanna Murphy. And we are at Asparagus, which the chef is Chris Beavers, who I always rock with because he rock with me. You can also listen to this show live on iHeart and Spotify and also YouTube because it's live there as well as my Facebook and my Twitter. It is live there as well. So you can I think we got a guest, Mr. Beavers, Chef Beavers. I think we got a guest. And this is how my shows run. People pop up on me. They don't tell me nothing. They just pop up in on me. Hey! See, stuff like that. Y'all see how people just pop in on me? Anyway, you can listen to the show live. This is the show live on iHeart, Spotify. And my special guest is Michalyn Easter Thomas, who is running for District 7 against Berlin Boy. Now, many of y'all have y'all complaints about Berlin Boy, from my understanding. Now, with your complaints, now you have a chance to do something about your complaints. Many of you have complaints about Sherman, who's District 1, and Rhonda Logan is running against him. So we have a runoff, and all of the complaints that you have had, now you have an opportunity to solve them. You have an opportunity to change the momentum in which we have always had it. And I am for change. We've been dealing with the same foolery for the last 8 years, which means now the foolery can stop and we can change that. And so I'm still messing with my salad. Rhonda, dang, you done? Girl, she done ate her salad already. And we got State Representative Antonio Parkinson, who just jumped in here. We didn't know he was coming. You had to squeeze over here now. Yeah, you come to squeeze in because I didn't know you was busting in here.
Man.
Kenny?
What's up, y'all?
So we are getting ready for runoffs. And the runoffs, now we're going neck and neck, head to head. There's no 50 million people on these ballots. Right. It is just in District 7, Michalyn Easton Thomas along with Berlin Boyd, and it's just Sherman and Rhonda Logan on that. So now you have your opportunity to say, hey, this is what I want. This is what I do. But guess what we need you to do? We need you to get to the polls. We need you to vote. That's our issue right now. Money doesn't always count, because if you could get the people out there to vote, that's what we need. We need all boots on the ground. So everybody that's been complaining, everybody that's have the issues, Berlin Boy did this, Sherman did this, I don't like this, I don't like that. Guess what? Now you get the opportunity to change that. And we are getting ready to go into the runoff. So I'm going to let them talk because I can talk. So I'm going to let them go ahead and talk. I mean, we talking to eat. You don't eat no strawberries either.
But
nothing.
Yes, we want everybody to come out. Early voting starts October 25th, and the runoff election will be held November 14th. We need everyone to come out. They're counting on us not coming out. They're counting on the Memphis voters or District 1 and District 7 voters not coming back out. But we are counting on you. So we're asking you to come out and vote. I want to thank you personally for coming out and doing it on October 3rd. You came out, got 49%. Just need one more. We need 50% plus one to make this happen. And we're going to make it happen in District 1 and District 7. This will be the first time in a long time that the City Council will be representative of the city with people that are speaking for the people. With council people that are speaking for the people. We'll have a majority at that point, and that's what we're looking for. It's time for, as Towanna said, it's time for change, and we want to move forward. And District 7 with Michalyn and Easter Thomas, District 1 with myself, for the people.
And not just change, big change. So life changing, community changing, makeup changing on the council, the way that people are engaged in politics. All of that, is a part of the big change that this is going to bring. So, especially with District 7, everybody in the city is really watching it. So we just need to make sure that we're getting people out to early election and election day. Because it's always known that in runoffs, people don't give much attention to it. Even a lot of folks who you would think would be paying attention have already wrote the election off. Oh, it's over. Go about business as usual. But no. Like Rhonda said, we still got big changes to make. And it's one of our last chances, probably, to get council change to make sure it reflects what people really need. And it's going to change how this city is going to look for the next 8 to 10 years. That's right. So we got to make sure that we get folks out. Almost everybody's registered. We just got to get out.
Right. So let me tell you this. For the last few years, we have been a laughing stock. They talk about our city council like they jokes. And they are. They are. I mean, nationwide, we are a joke. And so we need to change that momentum. And that's our issue right here. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's talking about it. But now we have an opportunity to change the momentum of how they look at Memphis. We need to change the momentum of the people that sits on those seats that does absolutely nothing. We need to now increase our minority contracts that we don't have. I mean, we 68% black and we only have 1%, which is minority, which is just like us. So I'm saying 1% because most people say it was 3%. No, minority could be anything, which is a woman, a white woman, a black woman, an Asian woman. But as a black minority, we have 1%. And now we can change that because now we have new people on there that's really going to read this stuff. That's really going to read what's on the table. We're going to read everything, those documents that's going to them. I mean, because they have a lot of stuff. And what I heard was, Michalyn and Rhonda, what I heard was they really don't read it. They really don't go through what they're voting on. They just say, okay, this is what we want. We're going to say yes because somebody gave us some extra money here. So we just don't vote yes for it. So that's not what we want. Right. We want y'all to get out there and vote because vote not over. That's right. So it's our job to get District 7 and District 1 people out there to vote. And because this is the first time that I have a Michalyn with me, I wanted to ask you, when you get the seat, I'm not going to say if, when you get the seat, what are some things that you would change in Memphis?
So when we get the seat, because it's not about me, it's about community. It's about people who are supposed to be served, and this is a serving position. So wanted to just make sure we increase access and opportunity in the district for one, folks to get involved in the political process, but then also people to feel like they're involved in progress in their city. Especially in District 7, we're a very diverse district. You got Harbortown, you got Uptown, but you got North Memphis, you got Fraser, you got Douglas, you have a piece of South Raleigh. You have a lot of different areas that have been stagnant. A lot of areas that have not been focused on. A lot of places that are in just need of the basics. When we did a lot of canvassing and knocking on doors, people are always talking about what they see. And if people can't see anything getting better in their community as far as small businesses being invested in, as far as blight, overgrown grass, simple things that we've seen money go towards all over the city, but we have not seen that, especially in our district. Okay. And it's just so great that we're in this runoff and that we can also say Rhonda's in this runoff because these are two adjoining districts. These are two adjoining neighborhoods that can just streamline You know, progress when we talk about from the river to
all the way
to county line, all the way to
the
county
entire
line.
northern half of the city.
So for me, it's really about access and opportunity, and we just don't have a lot of that in District 7. In the majority of District 7, we just don't have that.
Now, for many of y'all know Rhonda Logan, and we've been having this battle with Rhonda for the longest. She almost got me put in jail, but she almost got me put in jail. And so we don't have to deal with this anymore if you get out there and vote.
That's right.
We don't have to deal with that. So she had 49%, which means, like you said, she needed that extra 1% plus 1, and it would the seat would have been hers. But because she didn't, we have the runoff. But we don't need a runoff. We shouldn't have it. Personally, I don't think we should have had a runoff. But it is what it is. That's their rules, that's their regulations. And so now we have to deal with it. So, Rhonda, when we get this seat, what are some things that you would change?
Well, I told you at our last time together. In District 1, as is District 7, is very diverse. It is, you're talking about Raleigh to the Fayette County line. And we're going to represent the entire district. We want to make certain that we, as Michael said, have access and that we are for the people. We want to make sure that everyone is included. When we're at the table, when money is distributed or when services are distributed, we want to make sure that we bring that home, that we have someone at the table representing our districts, making certain that we have adequate funding, making certain that they're advocating for our district. And that's the main thing that I want to make sure that we're at the table and making sure that those things come, the money and the funding and the things that are needed, the services, everything that we need comes to our district, as well as activating the community, educating the community, making sure that everyone knows that they're a part of the process, making sure that they know that the government is for the people, and that we get back to making that happen in our community. So that's really important to engage our community. I've seen how throughout the district people feel like there's no reason for them to be involved. There's no reason. They're waiting on someone else. And as I did with the Raleigh to Take the Yard, wanted to show people that you have the power. You have the power to make the change as well. So you don't have to wait on anybody. You are the day. We are the day. We make things happen. We utilize the resources and make things happen. So those are two important things to begin the process of change. We have to activate the community and get everyone involved.
Right. Now some of the issues that I know we've been dealing with is our blight. And I just wanted you guys to touch on the blight situation that we have right now. Of course, that kind of trickles to the crime that we're dealing with. And that's another one of our biggest issues with City Council and what they're doing right now is that our blight situation is still a blight situation.
Right.
So what are some of the things that you would implement with even trying to deal with the blight situation and how would we get some of this stuff rid of? How can we build our communities right back up?
Well, first off, blight ain't new.
Right.
So, however, we must have been having the wrong conversations. So, when you get new people, new leadership, fresh perspectives, folks who've been in the community, boots on the ground doing work like Rhonda and I, then you start to have new conversations. You can start to look at other examples in other cities who may be doing the right thing or doing it the right way and start to see what can we do differently in Memphis is going to attack this problem in a whole nother way. Because obviously whatever we've been doing has not been working. And we can just flat foot out and just say that we need to have different ideas and have a new conversation, get some research done, like actually look out and see what can we actually do, because anything we've been doing has not been working at all. And like you're saying, it's linked with crime, but it also goes back down to poverty. We haven't been having a poverty conversation either.
Right.
And if we have, we've been doing that in the wrong way. And we definitely need to research some other examples, folks who are getting it right, folks who are trying to do different ways. We can't be good at the basics if we're just having basic thoughts, if we're having basic approaches. We can't do that. So hopefully, with this new makeup of council, We can get some fresh conversations going. And like Rhonda and I have been saying, bring in the community more. Because if you're living with something, you probably have a perspective on how it can help be changed. So making sure that we have that open communication with these community leaders, these pastors, these other elected officials from school board on up to state, and seeing what new things can we get done in our community, new conversations. But we're going to have to do some research and look elsewhere, because what we've been doing is not
It's not working.
And also, what Michael said, we do need fresh ideas, but we also need to pull in the things that we do have access to now and make them work for us. For instance, I don't know, a lot of people aren't familiar with police joint agencies. There are several police joint agencies throughout the city, and those agencies are built for the communities. They were designed to bring the community into solving the blight and crime issue. You bring public agencies together with people in the community to sit down once a month and solve crime and blight.
Rhonda, why you?
Okay.
What?
Something wrong with him.
It's
Right.
You all let us know if you can see all three of us.
I can see something wrong with his state representative. Something wrong with his phone.
Okay, sure.
Because we want to make sure we have it
Right, we want to make sure we got his stuff right.
But as I was saying, there are entities in our city that are designed or that we can use to get some things to move the needle. In addition to bringing in fresh ideas, let's activate what we do have. I know there was a woman, Miss Thacker, for instance, out by Cape Bond, and they were having problems in their community with a particular. And this is not just in Fraser and Raleigh, but it goes throughout the entire district. Whether it was in 38134, and they were having problems with a blighted property on their street, and we were able to pull in the PJA and get those issues resolved for her with just a few phone calls. We were able to pull in the resources that we already have in our city, but make those resources work for us. And if the people don't know what entities or what agencies are out there, as Michalyn said, don't have access to them, they can't work for you. So it appears that there's nothing out there. But there are communities and people that are accessing agencies and entities in our city to better their area. And that's what we want to do, make those accessible to the entire district, District 7 and District 1, begin to pull those in for our districts as well. And therefore, we empower our communities.
Rhonda, move in closer to me, because somebody said they just see too, and I'm looking at her head though. I'm seeing her.
Once you go widescreen on it doesn't bring Rhonda back.
Okay, okay, because Rhonda on that one. Okay, but she's on yours.
Yeah, it's on mine.
Mine too.
Okay.
So we got Rhonda. I don't think we cut her head off. Last time we cut Fred's head off.
I think people are visible. Thanks, Sherry.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
They said we're visible.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But
I did twice. You want to try it again? Maybe I did something different then.
When I went widescreen.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So when you turn,
I did wait my screen up. I cleaned it twice.
Yeah, as long as you keep it up like that.
You all let me know if anybody else have a wide screen.
Right.
And make sure you can see all of us. Make sure you can see me as well.
Right. Because
So some people may be having that problem outside of it.
Yeah. If you're having a problem seeing all three of us,
let us know.
Let us know down below.
Or just go out and come back in.
Okay, he said he see everybody.
Okay, great. But I did want to mention about the blight. What you said.
He said he got a flip phone.
He said, Charlie,
that's good. Well, you had a flip phone.
But I wanted to ask a question. And it kind of is related to blight, and types of things that Michalyn was talking about in terms of innovation. But I remember when Memphis was the most beautiful city. We had awards, national awards for being the most beautiful city. I remember when there were signage throughout the city about littering. We were intentional about being a clean city, and we have to be intentional about addressing the blight. They white, blood, a little. But those are are things that we don't see those out.
Right, because I don't see them.
I don't see them anywhere.
I haven't seen them.
But just the point was to be intentional about addressing the blight, addressing these issues that we have, and making sure everyone is engaged in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think because we're in DECA now, and I'm on DECA board, Valentine Evergreen, and a lot of times we talk about, remember in that time we had, awards for most beautiful city or the most trees, right? But then there also was a different time of home ownership. Was a different time of government help. It was a different school system. It was a lot of things different about, what was going on in those late 90s, early 2000s, or even just the 90s period. With how folks were engaged in their community and what folks received as far as resources. A lot of that was different as well. Our communities are changing drastically, some for positive, some you can determine on, whether it's positive or negative change, but we have to take all that in the context too, about how the surrounding and environment changes and how that impacts how we see what we can be, as a city, because we got to take all that into account, that housing isn't going to look the same if we're now more majority renters and out-of-town owners than local, people owning their own homes.
And, the conversation about out-of-town owners has come up in creating the registry and, just trying to pull in ways in which we can make them accountable and make them responsible for the properties that they do have in our area, and making sure that we are organized. One thing you mentioned about resources, I don't know, a lot of people don't know that if you have a neighborhood watch, there's a crime prevention grant that any neighborhood could get if they have neighborhood watch. If they're organized, $2,500 twice a year that you can access to better your neighborhood. There are resources, but like you said, we need to make sure that they're accessible to all communities and that everyone knows about it, and we can help them. I've helped several neighborhoods form neighborhood watch groups and access those dollars. So those are things we want to do.
I'm with you.
He got stuff going.
State Representative Park.
Michalyn head is out. Right now, her head is out. So that's some of the things. One of the questions that was asked to me was, how are we going to get these people out to vote? What are some cool ideas?
Pack the polls.
Right. So what are some ideas that we can come up with that we can get these people out to vote? Because most, like you said, most of them think vote over.
Yeah.
It's over.
And you don't hear about it in the media.
You don't hear about it. And the media is not going to say nothing about it. They're not going to mention anything about that. They're not going to say,
because it doesn't benefit, the incumbents to have folks talk about it.
Exactly.
Now, one thing that we're looking at is activating the churches, and things like that, all the communities, making sure that we, activate the neighborhood watch groups and things like that. So that's very important that, we activate the entire community and keep them informed, and we're all going to have to each one reach one.
Right.
Not 1, 5.
Exactly.
Reach 5.
Right.
For example, District 7 is over 50,000 people registered to vote. On this last election, 2 weeks ago, almost about 10,000.
Yeah.
Under 10,000 came out. So folks who registered. So now each one take 5. Yeah. Take accountability for 5 people, and ask them throughout early voting, before early voting started on the 25th. Have you went to vote yet? Early voting, you can go in any locations that they put out. Go. It won't take no time. There's only going to be 2 options on there.
Right, that's
it ain't gonna take no time for you to choose Michalyn or Rhonda.
Yeah. That's it. It takes no time.
But and so the point is personal responsibility. We want everyone to take responsibility for getting someone there.
Right. So we got to get them out there. Get them out there.
Your whole family. Don't let anybody sit in your house that's registered to vote and they don't vote.
Right. So what are some initiatives that we can do to get them out there, to get them to vote? Because, we only got 1 week. And the next week is it. We got to get them out there for early voting, runoff, early voting. So we have to come up with something creative to get them out there. Also, I'm a chicken sandwich.
They went to Popeyes.
I know what Popeyes.
On the 26th, on the first Saturday of early voting, like Rhonda mentioned, we're putting the charge out to all clergy, pastors, churches in District 1 and 7 to get their members, whether it's in their vans or cars or whatever, get them out. Now, we're not saying who to vote for.
No.
That's right.
No, we saying who to vote for. No, we gonna say who to vote for.
Towanna is. Me and Rhonda aren't. But we're calling out to those pastors on their first Saturday of early voting.
That's a no-brainer.
Push you all out there.
It's a no-brainer. We saying who to vote for. They ain't gonna say it, but I'm saying. We telling y'all who to vote for. We want y'all to vote for this. Everybody's been complaining. Okay, if you complaining, now I've heard so much complaining for the last 8 years that it don't make sense.
Yeah.
Berlin boy did this. Sherman did it. Berlin boy did it. Sherman did this. Guess what? Now you have the opportunity to change that. All that talking y'all been doing and tagging me in it so I can go off. Now you don't have to tag me in it to go off. So I can go off because they don't want to go off, so they're going to let me go off.
In the booth.
They're going to let me do it.
In person.
Exactly. And press the button.
Go off in the booth.
That's it. Go off in the booth. You want to be mad? You want to be real mad? You want to be little mad or big mad? If you want to be big mad, then you vote mad. Bam. That's what you do. You want to be big mad? You got a chance to be big mad. District 7, District 1, you got your chance. Hey, JB Smiley. Congratulations. I had him, y'all. That's the councilman. JB Smiley. He is now councilman. Yeah, Towanna Murphy did her thing, didn't I, JB Smiley? I did my thing. Did my thug business. And so that's what we need. That's all of this stuff that y'all been complaining about. We have an opportunity right now to change that.
And that's what's most important right now. Getting people to the polls to vote, to express their own views. And this is, like Towanna said, this is your opportunity to be represented. You know, everybody talked about they, but this is your opportunity to be the they. You know, we have to get people to the polls. Nothing else is going to matter if you don't go to the poll.
Exactly.
So get to the polls so we can get the work started, so we can begin to work and make the changes. And we'll see the changes with our youth and with the crime and with the blight. You know, when you have a focused city council and you have a unified city council, you can get so much done because the city council is your first line of government. You know, as a citizen, you worried about the president, but you need, you know, most people should be concerned, need to know that you should be concerned about your city council. Because, and when you have city council and county commissioners and state reps and school board members that are all aligned, you can really make it happen.
Like Chris Baby was gonna make it happen
right now. Yeah.
I just take my fork and my knife and wait.
Asparagus.
Yes. Chris,
So
I want you to
nice.
come say something like you normally do. Come
Chef
on, walk around here.
Beavers.
Chef Beavers. I'm ready to clean my knife off. Look at
Look,
this.
anytime Towanna asked to come on her show, and the spirit, everybody gonna come. Everybody come.
Everybody
Yeah,
come.
you want to be on Towanna's show? Yeah.
You won't be on the show. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. That's all.
Goodness, look. Is there a way we can?
Yeah, you gotta take it off of there and then go back and do it and take a picture of it. Show it. Just show it to the camera.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Look at that, y'all. Look at that.
Can they
my
see it?
goodness.
Oh, it's behind the comment.
Because they comment.
Drop it down.
Oh my goodness. So, which is this
You
is
can see good on this one.
Cajun.
You can't see Michalyn though. Michalyn chin.
No.
It's still clean though. We still eat it. It's still eatable. Watch this. It's still eatable. It's still eatable.
Gouda
grits.
Gouda grits.
I'm through showing out.
Exotic potatoes. Come on. Chris, you gotta say something to the people.
Oh, yeah, it's just simple, man. Just the Gouda grits.
Don't worry about the extensive.
The exotic potatoes, fried cabbage, Cajun salmon.
Oh my goodness.
That's what they have.
I got
These exotic potatoes.
They fast.
I messed up your picture, right?
Trying.
It's okay.
You messed up my picture. I still don't eat it though. It's still good. I'm gonna clean dog. Just eat it. That's it. I'm from the hood.
They got a question?
They saying something. I can't see it. I don't know. It's too little.
I can't see it. Glad to have you ladies address the awful issue of
I
Dwight,
can't see you though.
North Memphis, Hyde Park, Hollywood. I think there was a comment.
Yes, comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But to add on what Rhonda was saying about people, you know, worried about president on up and not thinking about council, first line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that we had to do when we were canvassing was actually tell people what city council does.
Mm-hmm.
So And what we focused on was that, a lot of people hit you with the, well, why should I vote? Why does that matter to me? What does that have to do with my life? And then actually taking the time to ask them, well, what matters to you? What goes on with you in your day-to-day life? And then breaking it down so that they can see city council touches everything in your day-to-day life.
Everything.
She said she needed a plate. So, when you think about, well, why is it that certain neighborhoods have industries and factories in their backyards or their front yards? Or why are so many neighborhoods in North Memphis either dealing with air pollution problems or flooding issues or deforestation, or even dealing with the issues with the Wolf River? Those are things that come before council. Land use come before council all the time. And when you have, especially with Memphis, when you have all these historic neighborhoods that need to be preserved. We're in one of them. A lot of those things come before council. And they can make decisions on, the future of what your neighborhood can look like. Especially if you don't have that community organization or CDC voice already ready to fight or communicate with council on those issues.
As the Raleigh CDC and our Grass-Our Roots, that we have been working with even prior to this journey. So, you're absolutely right.
And so that's just some of the things that we're dealing with. I ain't got mad yet. Y'all see me with this dog on the fork. And I'm like,
it's hard because you won't even concentrate on what we're saying.
Right. Sitting here like this.
That's hilarious.
Right, waiting on mine. I ain't had nothing yet. But I'm waiting on it. And I know that some of the issues that we, while I'm waiting, some of the issues that we have been dealing with as well as is our streets. Getting our streets paved. Somebody got a question. What's the question? I can't see that. That's too good.
Absentee voting. It's addressed during national elections, but when asked about during this election, poll workers did not have a clue. We have a lot of college students away at school. We have to do better with our local elections. Every vote matters. So, absentee voting, you can go on Shelby Vote. And they have a link. ShelbyVote.com. They have a link on absentee voting. And the deadline to send that in, your absentee vote, is November the 9th. It's November the 9th.
To register to vote is tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, you can register.
Right, you can still register to vote. Yeah. Tomorrow, you can still register to vote because we need y'all at this post. We need y'all to go ahead and vote. And we already know that the runoffs are the lowest. When it comes to runoffs, because media is not going to say too much about that runoff. Y'all know that.
But this year we're gonna make
a
difference. We're gonna get them. Everybody's gonna come out to vote.
Everybody's gonna come out.
And Rhonda.
Right, we're gonna make y'all. Well, we can. Well, yes, we can. Y'all come out and vote. That's what we need y'all to do. Come out and vote. So we're gonna tag this interview to all of the different clubs that y'all got on social media that y'all tag me in because y'all want me to go off about certain stuff. So I'm gonna tag this in y'all little clubs so y'all can go off and do what you gotta do to get the people out there to vote.
Fraternities, sororities, social clubs, churches,
everything. I'm gonna tag all of this.
Beauticians, barbers, we need you all.
Because guess what? This all makes a difference in your communities. They make a difference. Who you elect as your city officials makes a difference on the national level as well.
Small business owners,
everything. All is it's a trickle. It all trickles. Even with our mayor and our senators and our state representatives, you got to make sure you keep the right people in place that's going to represent us well. Because if you don't, it's going to end up to what we're doing right now. It's going to end up to all the foolishness that we've been dealing with right now. Because guess what? We have nobody to fight for us on the state level.
And it's life or death.
That's what I'm talking about.
Especially when you're talking about District 7.
What you said?
When you're talking about North Memphis, Fraser, Hollywood. It's life or death. And the people that, the person that we have in council now does not care.
No.
Is not around. And does not plan to be. And so we just have to think about that. What do we want this city to be for our youth, our elders, our single mothers, our struggling families, our working Memphians? What do we want this city to be? Because it's already going in a direction that's not going to be conducive for any of us.
Right.
It's not going to be livable for a lot of us, including me. So we just need to make sure that we get that voice out there, because if we don't do it now, we're going to be stuck. We are literally going to be stuck.
Exactly.
And it's going to be that way for the next 8 years.
8 years.
and Memphis is gonna go in a direction which we cannot get reins of and hold back.
Exactly. So
And I don't think people are thinking about.
No, they don't. They don't think about that until stuff happens. Right. And then when stuff happens, they want to complain. They want to shoot off. They want to call their state representatives, or they want to call me, or they want to get somebody else on here and say, "Well, hey, such did this." Well, it ain't my fault. Who'd you go for? Or did you go vote?
Right.
You put that person in office. So if you put that person in office, you can't complain. Don't say nothing to me.
Right.
If
It's
you
not
put
a
that person in
popularity
office,
contest.
right? It's not.
Who's serving you already?
Exactly.
That's who you want.
And they ain't
to look
serving
at.
you from.
Yeah.
Let me just make this clear. Let me just put this clear. Since they can't say it, let me just say it. Berlin Board has not served us well. Neither has Sherman. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. They have not served us well. That is why we have these issues. That's why we're dealing with this stupid stuff that we shouldn't be dealing with in the first place. Because if they were serving us well, we wouldn't have issues such as our blight situation, we wouldn't have issues such as the homeless, and we wouldn't have issues with our minority contracts. I'm going to tell you a story, and maybe you will figure out what you want to do. You shouldn't have to figure it out, because it's a no-brainer to me. Thing is this. I sat in Center Council one day, and a black company in North Memphis presented a project. And when they presented this project, it was well thought out. It was well presented. I mean, it was A1 when they presented this project. Black men, they was doing a tire, they had a tire business that they wanted to open up. And with that tire business, they were going to hire high school kids to come learn how to fix a tire, learn how to rotate them. And they were going to pick them up at a certain location every day and bring them to work. And they were going to pay them $8 an hour just to have them to do something part-time during the time they was at school. Well, Berlin Boyd shot it down completely. He shot it down and told him, well, you need to give us a little bit more detail of what you think. He gave you enough detail. It shouldn't be an issue. He gave you detail. But I think if you come and work with me and I'll come in and we'll come back and we'll revisit this again in another 6 to 8 months. Why should you have to revisit it? But I'm going to tell you this white man came right behind him and no problem. No problem. Nobody thought about it. Nobody said nothing. They automatically gave him the contract. Okay? Because guess what? It was already discussed prior to them getting to the city council meeting. So it was already discussed because this white man gave him the money prior to each one of them sitting up there and behind them seats. The money was already presented to Berlin Boyd. So therefore, the black company didn't get what they wanted. But the white man did, came shortly after. And I'm telling you from what I see, I'm the one who took the picture of doggone, what's his name, sleeping in the chair and sent it to Sherry. I'm the one. Brown. That was me. That Brown. I'm the one who took the picture with Brown in that chair sleep. And I sent it to Sherry Harper and they put it up there. I'm the one. I was there. So this is a very important election. And we need y'all to get out there and vote. We need y'all. I mean, we need. I don't know what the kids say. What's the kids slang that they use? I don't know what they use. She young. What the kids slang they use?
I don't know.
Somebody
say a whole lot
tell
about
us what the kids say.
Somebody tell us what the kids say. They said, "Wow." Exactly. Wow.
I don't know about that.
Wow. Exactly. Wow. And that's what we need. We need that. We need y'all to get out there and vote. And all the people that want to volunteer, y'all call me, inbox me. We can get out there and volunteer. If y'all want to go knock on some doors, hey, I got y'all.
Or giving donations.
Give donation, whatever you need. They need that. They need that because they need to get in these offices, and this could be the biggest upset.
Because it's
it could be the biggest upset.
It's going to be very difficult for a newcomer to unseat an incumbent.
Mm-hmm.
But that we have to factor in the will of the people, and as you all have shown on October 3rd, that's not always the case.
It's not the case.
So we want everyone that came out to come back out. And let's change all of the narratives that have gone on before us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
and have one Memphis.
That's it. We got to move forward. That's the only way we can move forward. We have new people to move it forward. Then because we already know what the issue is. We know where the issue lies. We know where the problem lies. So we just fix the problem. And the only way to fix the problem is get rid of the problem. Mm-hmm. That's it. To fix it, we get rid of it. I say we get rid of the problem.
And if this could fix it, that'd be
it. The food could fix it.
Ooh, it could fix it.
Ron said the food could fix it.
You would think it could.
It could, right. If the food could fix it.
Chris could do it.
Chris could do it.
It would happen.
Everything all right? Everything tastes okay?
We can.
Delish.
Together we can
do
unseat
it.
them. Together, if we do this together, we can unseat them. And that's what I need y'all to do. And I need y'all to unseat them.
And in both districts, that's every culture, every people group in both are tired of seeing the things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard it from all sides, so we want everyone to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
everybody. We need everybody to come out, and that's our plea today. The runoff election is next week on the 25th. That's the beginning. That's the early voting process. So we need y'all to show up at this early voting process. And we already know that if you do well in this early voting process, just about they got this race the day of. Mm-hmm. So we need y'all to get out there and early vote and make this happen for Rhonda, Logan, and for Michalyn, Easton, Thomas.
And if you need a ride, let us know.
Yeah,
we can get you there.
Babe, my hoochie will go. My hoochie will go. It will go. So we need y'all. We need y'all to do that. And I just want to piggyback here because I had started the conversation. Then he came with my food. And then I was happy again. Mm-hmm. and so right. And so I wanted to just come back to our roads. We need them fixed. You know, they only fixing them now because it was election season, so certain parts of the city got fixed. We still got a whole lot of different streets and different areas that need to be tamed, that need to be paved. Mm-hmm. And what can we do? I mean, some people say, well, you can call 311. I can call 311. I didn't cuss them out. They didn't hung up on me. But they had somebody out there to fix that street 2 days later. So because it was affected, I told them, hang up on me again. Hang up on me one more time, and it's going to be a situation. This Towanna, yes it is. Hang up on me one more time. Y'all better come fix the street. Here's the location, and I sent y'all a picture. Come fix that. And so now, you know, with you ladies being in office, because I'm not speaking in if, I'm saying being in office, how could we get help quicker?
And see, the thing that, like we said earlier, there are certain things that city council representatives can do. And really it's about providing access to the services that handle those things. Mm-hmm. Making sure that we're representing our communities and being a part of that process. There's a paving schedule. Okay, making sure that you know your representatives, your leaders know what the paving schedule is. Making sure that your community is included and offering you those areas of the city or the government that handles that, giving you access to those areas. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people, we don't want to give the impression that the city council person can do everything. There are certain things that a state rep can do, a county commissioner can do, a city council can do. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that a city council person is responsible for doing, one of the more important things, is to be accessible to constituents, to help them with their issues, to help them connect the dots with the agencies and the funding or the entities that are supposed to be helping them.
And keep them informed.
Right, and keeping them informed.
So sometimes, if you know that road paving schedule, then you might not have the idea of that it's never going to come. But if you're never informed of what's going to happen or what's in the plans to happen, then you feel as though you've been ignored.
Right.
So, and that's part of it too.
Right, because they need a place to go to and say, hey, okay, they're going to pave these roads at this time. Mm-hmm. They need to see where they're going. And a lot of people are not computer savvy. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of our elderly people don't know how to work.
And our website is not the best.
Right, that's not. And it's not good. And so we need to find another way versus Facebook. And they'll tag it. Mm-hmm. At least Facebook is easier to see. You can always go back to it. Mm-hmm. And they can see it and say, hey, because if you're trying to search that web, trying to figure out what the schedule is, you'll never probably get to it ever, period.
That's right.
You'll never get to it.
So we're making sure that your constituents know that they can reach out to you, how they can find you, and that you're keeping them informed, not making it hard, like your own, like your Facebook page, as a city council person or whatever your elected official's role is, you should have a way that your constituents should be able to access you.
Mm-hmm. At all times. Mm-hmm. And you should be able to get a return call. Don't just get a return call because you have a name. Get a return call because they are constituents and they voted for you and they put you in there. What is that? I can't read that too little.
These areas that you are seeking office for have some issues, empty homes,
yeah, that's what we just got done talking. See, Phelps. You checked in, you chimed in real late. We was already talking about that, but you can always go back and look at the video. But we're gonna help you out with that one, though. We're gonna help you out with that. But see, but that's the issue. They don't answer the constituents unless you have a name, and that shouldn't be.
Mine don't answer you. What you got a name at all?
Well, yeah, true that. He answers me though. Yeah, different problem. He answers.
He don't answer
But
us.
I have heard that. I've heard that certain ones that don't answer for their constituents because they don't want to hear it. But that shouldn't be the case.
And one thing about Michalyn and I, we're already answering constituent calls. I know dealing with the PJA, which is the Police Joint Agency, I deal with calls every day almost from constituents about these particular things, potholes, blight, vacant properties, trash,
Right.
And we lead and spearhead cleanup days and connecting them with the environmental court or different areas, code enforcement. So people that are already serving you from day to day, you don't have to worry if they get the seat, can I reach them? They're already accessible. And that's one of the good things about us. We have boots on the ground.
So we need you to vote. I mean, that's our plea today. Our plea is we need you to vote. We need this to be an upset. I need this to be an upset.
You need this.
I need it to be an upset. They need it to be an upset. We need it to be an upset because these people don't think that they can be unseated. And they it's hard out here.
Thank you.
Tell Lord thank you. Tell the Lord thank you.
See, Weezy.
See, they just pop up on me. They do this all. They do this to me all the time. They pop in on me.
Well, now that I
Mike
know.
Williams popped in on me one
Our
show.
specialist on adverse childhood experiences.
Right. They just pop up on me like this all the time. I think Mike Williams and 2 other people popped up on me in my last show. They just popped in. Came messing like that.
You got the right formula. You got the right.
Well, now that I know, I might start.
Popping in on me.
I know, right?
Pop in.
This gonna be the conversation.
Right, the conversation. This is a conversation room right here. That's right. This is a conversation room here.
Tell Lord thank you.
So you just don't skip me, huh? You just don't. Oh, that's so low down. That's low down.
I thought you was talking. So.
I was talking dang point though. I multitask.
Look at that. What I'm
Look
talking
at you.
I know, shut. Look at that time.
You know they said,
Oh, that's shot.
about.
Yes, well, that's a nice. You got to come let them see this. Come let them time. You got to come let them. Child, you got to come let them see his time.
They gonna be able to see it right there.
He on the phone. You got to do something.
See that tie right there? Them all them babies right there.
Look at that time. Y'all see that time?
See that beautiful wife right there? I had to say that.
Oh yeah, you
That's
can
right,
trust
Miss
me.
Lynette.
You don't announce that. That's
That's
it.
right, Lynette.
That's it. That's called. That's it.
John said y'all
Be trying.
should like him.
What
Yeah,
was that?
I was
Y'all
trying to
should
wait for
invite
you,
me.
man. I was
What
trying
you
to wait
got
for you,
poppin'?
but
Joe said we should have invited him. Huh?
Joe.
Joe Dupree.
Oh. Ooh, that's
yeah,
good.
it's good too.
No, that's
That roasted
chicken.
I wish that's next.
Chicken, and you got barbecue on it. That's right.
That's the best
I
part.
do, but I couldn't.
What best part of it?
Can
Yeah,
I
the
eat?
salmon skin is the best
Can
part.
I eat my food? I'm
Look,
already on
look,
camera eating.
The our state representative that ate up all his. Wait a minute. Our state representative that ate up all his food. He
And
buried it.
I was waiting on Caswell.
As
Like,
they
one
say,
more,
they
one more.
Wow.
He put one sheet over. You know how you do with
Right.
chameleon?
You know what?
Put a sheet over.
Hey, you know what it means when they cover the body.
That's
right?
it. That's it. That's it. That's all. It is
It ain't got
over.
no fossils on my body.
That is over. But that's what we've been
We are
talking about.
so excited about this
We are.
election coming
Oh,
up.
We are. We're
What about
excited.
you?
What about you?
We ready. I'm home.
Yeah.
Gonna make me rent some vans and get some people.
There you go.
That's what we just talking about.
There you go.
So we need to do that. We need to read some vans and have a set location where we can pick these people up,
Yeah,
take them to the polls.
We're gonna have a 3B bowler pole ballot in the van.
Now remind y'all, if we pick y'all up, take y'all to the polls. If y'all birth a bowling boy, it's gonna be a your white shit. I'm coming to your house.
You ain't gonna get back home.
Baby, it's gonna be, you ain't getting back home. Hey, we gonna leave y'all ass stranded right there. I don't care. We're gonna leave you
Well,
stranded.
can I come over and say
Sure,
something?
come on.
That's funny.
All right, y'all. I don't want to be
No, you all right.
leaning over Towanna's plate.
You good.
Yeah, we're gonna let Charlie Caswell come over here because he's not trying to pick off of it. 'Cause he over there lusting right now. But look, this is what I want to say. I'm Antonio Parkinson. this is what I want to say. I think it's important to drive home. What we're talking about when electing these two is we're talking about literally changing the whole culture of the city council. And I need everybody to really, really understand and get that. So right now, you have two individuals that align themselves with the minority on the council. In other words, the other folks. And so with that means that when they vote on some of these things, those resources go into the Poplar Corridor and those other places, which could have been resources that came into North Memphis, Raleigh, Frazier, the little Bartlett area of Cordova, of Memphis and Cordova. And so those resources never make it to us because you got two people on the council that have aligned themselves with the minority on the council. And so, and y'all, when I say minority on the council, I'm talking about the white guys on the council. And so that's the minority on the council. And so that gives the 5 minority members 7 votes with those 2 people. All right, so do the math. There's 13 people on the council. You need 7 votes to get something passed. Now, with these 2 ladies coming onto the council, mom's calling. With these 2 ladies coming onto the council, that means you're going to possibly have 7 votes for your area. And so that you can get the resources into your area. Not saying that they won't vote in some cases where, with other people on the council. I'm not saying that at all. But we have been missing all of the resources that were due to our community because, simply because, wait a minute, y'all. We have been missing a lot of resources because Berlin has been aligning himself with the Kemp Conrads and the folks like that. And and I'm gonna give you an example.
Yes, sir, Master.
Right. I'll give you an example of a vote that went down. There were some new homeowners who had built themselves some habitat homes. They invested in their new home. They got the keys to them homes, and they were excited about those homes. Right? And if any of you are out there are homeowners, you remember how it felt the first time you got the keys to your home. Yeah. Well, there was this company that came, this trucking company, that decided they wanted to expand their business. Nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that the business was going to be expanded in front of these people's brand new homes. The people came up to the council and begged and cried to the council members, some of the council members, not to allow this trucking company to expand in front of their brand new homes. But Berlin and Sherman, they voted, even after these people begged and cried at the council, they voted to allow this trucking company to expand in front of these people's homes. And that's the type of stuff that you're dealing with. So if that's the kind of leadership you like, then keep them in office. But if you want some leadership that's going to put people first, put you first, then you need to vote these 2 ladies in. And so we can change the culture of the city council.
And this time it was a trucking company. Next time it could be a landfill, like what happened. They tried to put a landfill in South Raleigh when there was no representation when that whole debacle went on in November. You all remember when they voted 100 times, and then we didn't have any representation. Well, there was was the landfill on the agenda, and now we see what happened. They used Collierville as an example as to how nice it could be, but now we saw last month. Collierville was all upset about how the smell is so bad and how it's taking down their It would have been right here in our area if we didn't have people representing, or people standing up to the things like that happening. But so it's important to have people that's gonna fight for you.
That's
because we had that issue in Douglas when you talk about
you did. I was thinking over there.
If you haven't, drove down Chelsea ever with your windows down, starting from Hollywood, going on down past Wolford with that grease collection plant that they have. Like the stench is all in folks' homes. It's all in their cars. They're breathing it. And people, it's an overlooked area, and especially with our representation, he's not out there.
And trying to attract people to our city.
Right. We can't do that. We can't do that with the policies we got.
Our city, they look at the whole city, contrary to popular belief. People drive around and they see, because people know that what happens in North Memphis or Fraser or Raleigh, eventually it's going to happen in other parts of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we have to really think about it and be smart about our investment.
And I think too, just talking on that, when you talk about Amazon, these other companies looking to come.
Yeah, come over here.
When you're talking about these other companies that's coming to our community already, is no doubt we're going to continue to expand, but we don't want business to take over the people, and the people having the opportunity to have that voice. And that's why, no doubt, I believe these two grassroots organizations, grassroots leaders who have been on the ground already doing that work, understand that it's the people's voice that is needed to be heard. We need that type of city council, because you're talking about an educator here, or you're talking about somebody who understands mental health here. Is that tell my sister to get off there? Tell Lord, thank you. Nelson, you need to be doing some work for Nelson. But these two ladies understand that deep rootedness of our community and the value of that, because they've been out here with the people. So when people come before them, they already know what the people's voices are, because they've been with the people. It's easy to turn away your back on the people when you don't have to face them and you doing deals like what State Representative Parkinson just talked about. And so when we talk about District 7, even with Berlin Boyd, we know what he has stood for. You're talking about FedEx Forum, the Gibson guitar situation, where he fought to bring that into District 6, which didn't have nothing to do with our district. But we have plenty of vacant lot, open lands, and opportunity that could have been focused for and fought for in our community. And we got to, again, look at people who are intentional about the good of the people and not just the good of their pocket. Both these two ladies, again, early voting, Easterly and
Rhonda Logan.
Sister Logan.
Easter.
Easter.
He thinking
I'm
of
Easter Thomas and Rhonda Logan and Towanna Murphy for Mira. Sign on right in.
Write me in for mayor. Tell her thank you. Write me in for mayor. I don't know nothing about being on mayor, but I promise you I'll figure it out if I did.
Figure it out as you go.
Figure it out as we go. I bet
Well,
you I would.
Mayor
I
got
probably
work
would.
for council, so you got us on council.
Right, I probably win hood as I am.
That's the form of government we have.
What you said is form of government we have. Look what we're dealing with right now. I mean, it's a situation here. Yeah, we in dire straits. America, Memphis, we in dire straits. We need y'all to vote. I'm just saying. We need y'all to get in here and vote these two ladies in. We need a change in Memphis. I mean, that's...
And a change is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Change coming.
November,
Change
October
here.
25th.
Change here. We
Change is here. We just need to vote.
Bring it on in.
We just need to vote.
And go on our Facebook pages and like those pages, tag and share. So Michalyn Easter
Don't
Thomas
share that video.
for City Council District.
Share the video.
Share this video.
Right now.
And
Because I know they watching. Share it right now.
Share the video.
See, I got my knife right. Share the video. Because I know they listening to it. I know they watching. Hi, Berlin Boyd. I know you watching. Hi, Sharma.
They came out to meet me.
Sharma. I'm just saying. We need y'all to vote. I mean, that's it. That's all. We need y'all to do this one more again. One more again. We need y'all to get out there
And
and
take
vote.
5 with you.
Wait,
And tell them take 5.
we need to take 20.
Get your whole street.
Right.
Yeah.
Your whole
Get
hood.
your
Pack
whole
the
street.
poles.
I wish we could just push the poles down the street and go from house to house. Just
Whole
push the poles.
street.
Pack
Can we
the
do that?
Pack the
Another
pole.
vote from Facebook.
Right. Vote for Facebook. Vote. We vote for
Wow.
Facebook. And then we can see it. Can we do that
It'll be
too?
easier.
Yeah.
Real easy.
That would be
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our plea, y'all. That's what we have right now. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we have. And we need y'all to tag and share this video to whoever
And
you
we
need to tag and share
appreciate
it to.
you for,
First
being
time.
conscientious enough to know how, important this topic is for inviting us.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a very important
It's
time
important.
in our city.
It's important.
Actually, even from November, this is a historic vote.
Mm-hmm.
This one right here. And so we want everyone, all the journalists and all of the
Oh, that's all.
reporters, everybody to do what Towanna is doing.
Huh?
So to do what Towanna is doing and begin the conversation.
Mhm.
We have to remind the people because
Remind the people.
we're not going to see it on mainstream media.
Mm-mm.
We need
Mm-mm.
our main media people.
Right.
to-
Right. And when anybody coming up in here trying to just talk about folk and throw folk out like that. No, this is real tough. We ain't got time for that foolishness. We ain't got time for that. We got to work here. We got a job to do. We ain't got time to turn nobody down. We ain't got time to be talking about nobody or mistreat nobody. We got to do what we got to do, which means we got to get these people in office. That's what we got to do. Simple, point blank. That's it. We ain't got to do. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. We got to. What she say, Vanessa?
Yes.
Vanessa, I'm gonna need you to be a volunteer. I need you to help.
Both the Vanessas, both of them.
I need you to write a check, Vanessa. I need you to write a check to them and then write a check to me.
Because it will take funds.
It's gonna take funds.
We haven't talked about because our opponents are
they got money. Now they got money.
They, and we want to make sure that we can compete, whether it's mailers, whether it's cards, or whether it's poll workers. We want to make sure that you all understand that it is going to take funds to get this done.
Oh, she said she got it. No problem.
Well.
We need money. We need funds.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Vanessa. And anybody else that would like to donate, let us know. We want you to donate. We need this money.
I can come pick up a check right now.
Right, we can come pick up the check. Give us a location. We can pick up money. We don't have a problem with that. We will come get it. But we need y'all, seriously. Seriously, I mean, even though we're eating and having a casual conversation, we're still talking about serious things that's happening in Memphis.
Right.
And that is why I created this show, so that everybody can still feel relaxed and not be so serious and so uppity. Right. Like when Rhonda came in with that tight shirt.
Okay, let's
Wait,
go
she was trying to talk.
Go ahead. And Towanna was supposed to be, my girl, and we were here, and I didn't have my Rhonda Logan shirt, and I was like, I gotta have my campaign shirt, and so I ran out to the car, and the only shirt I had was my 6-year-old daughter Mindy's shirt. So I ran in the bathroom and put the shirt on. And I came out, Towanna, how is it? How she said, you good, girl? Come on, you good? And
she was swole. She was swole. I think she was swole, but I'm gonna tell her she looked good.
The whole time, Towanna was tripping. But we still had, and so now she on my list. Women support women would not do that. And
she was swole. She swole. She had that shirt on though. She didn't move out that space the whole time.
But I answered those questions to get that information out.
She got the information out there.
Right.
She got that. That's all that matters. She got the information out there. And see, guess what? This is what you get to deal with. You don't have to have somebody that's always uppity. You don't have to have that, because your city council people, not only are they down to earth, but they real people. They here to help you. It's not like, oh, she look like she's stuck up, or I ain't gonna talk to her. Well, you can't talk to Boyd anyway. Or you can't talk to Sherman because they ain't going. Right. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Unless it's election season, then you may have a conversation. Other than that, you ain't gonna get no conversation. You're not gonna hear from them for the next 4 years. But I do know that these ladies here, you'll hear from them throughout the years. That they're sitting on those seats. And I think they will be a good representation of Memphis and a good representation of their districts.
All right.
So, ladies, if y'all have a plea, go ahead, tell me your spiel.
You said we're here for what?
Your spiel. Why they should vote for you? Your spiel.
Oh,
your spiel.
Thought about y'all since
I know he ain't said nothing.
Ain't no more.
His play came out. He ain't said nothing.
And I was watching on TV. I seen the film.
He said nothing. Not nothing.
Say something you pay for you. Right.
But thank you all for watching, and I want you to vote Rhonda Logan on October 25th and throughout, as well as on November 14th. I will be that representative that represents your voice, be your voice in District 1, making certain that those dollars come to your area, making sure that I answer your calls, making sure that I'm fighting for you to reduce crime and blight in our neighborhoods, making sure that we're fighting for our youth and our schools for funding, and just making certain that we have what we need to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, and to move forward as the rest of the city is moving forward. And that's Rhonda Logan, District 1, November 14th. Yep.
And Michalyn Easter Thomas, District 7. As we've all said, everybody at the table, we desperately need new leadership in our district. For too long, we wanted and yearned and asked and pleaded for someone who's going to be attentive to our needs, to our wants, even just to have that communication between community leaders, organizations, and their representation. And we need that. I work in SCS, and daily I'm seeing what these high school kids, what these teenagers are coming with, and how they're about to go out into the world, in a world that they feel does not want them, that's not prepared for them, and that cannot sustain them or their families. And that's everybody's responsibility. If we can't see how we can make Memphis better for our youth, then what are we all doing the work for? So we have to start and look at how can we prioritize our areas, how we can take care of our elders, how we can better the look of our community so that we can ensure that our health is growing, our environment is growing in a progressive way, and then we make Memphis what we need to make it for these youth that are going to come up and take it over, right? Because right now we're on a track to where we're not leaving anything for them. We're not giving them a instructional booklet. We're not doing anything but turn it up in District 7. So we need to ensure that we get back out to vote. Early vote starts next Friday, October 25th. And once again, October 26th, Saturday, we are pushing, putting a charge for all the pastors and clergy of churches in District 7 and District 1 to get your people, even in the neighborhood, even if they don't go to church, they show up, put them on the van in the car anyway, get them out to vote early so we can count our votes early so that on election day, we're going in knowing that we're just going to go ahead and seal the deal to make this a better Memphis.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you
for coming.
For having us.
And thank you.
Thank you, Chef Beaver.
You all have to come to Asparagus. It is the bomb.
You got to make an appointment. You got to make an appointment.
A reservation.
Oh,
you have a Facebook page.
Whatever you have to do.
Well, I'm gonna say an appointment. Like
get here.
I said appointment like it's a clinic or something. You gotta make an appointment.
Food is delicious. You get to Towanna's plate.
Really well. No, you need to look at Pastor Caswell's plate.
I do.
You see how she just
The 10 brothers and sisters in the house. So I didn't get done with it.
Right. That was it. You was getting a whooping. So we want to say thank y'all so much for watching. We asking you guys to tag and share this video. We ask y'all to go out to vote. Early voting is October 25th to November 9th. We want y'all to go to the polls. If you don't have a way to the polls, one of us will call one of us. We'll help you. We'll get you to the polls. Because we need y'all to get out there and vote. And we need to push this. We need to push it. And the only way we're going to push it is that you push it. Because like I said, main media is not going to do it. Because they already have who they want. But guess what? We can change that momentum. That means we have to work together in order to get it out there. So I'm asking you to tag, share, do whatever you have to do. You can go back and listen to this whole interview live on iHeart or on Spotify, WDM 98.5 FM, or you can go back and stream it. It is live. You can go to my website and listen to it live again, www.wdmradio.com. Thank y'all so much for listening, and we will see y'all. We'll see y'all at the top. We'll see y'all when y'all get sworn in.
All of us going to be at the top when she get us in there. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Everybody's invited to the party, to the victory party.
Y'all invited to the victory party because I'm going to show out. I'm going to show all the way out.
We need to have one together.
Right. Y'all need to just do it together. They do it together so we can just show out together so I can step up in there. I'm going to step in there. Exactly. Baby, I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road. I'm coming on in there. That's it. We coming on in there. We'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for watching. Tag and share this video. Tag and share the video. Go back and listen to it on all of my social media sites, and they're on my national sites as well. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Until next time.